Hey, welcome back, guys. Wanting to get into, I don't know what I want to get into today, but something different and stuff. Thinking about stuff. Been absent for about a week, trying to figure out what all's going on with me energetically and stuff. Been dealing with vortexy stuff going on in the head and some other weird stuff. And realizing today that I'm still looping, I guess you could say, in the patterns that these people want me to be in and this society wants me to be in. Like, it's like, for some reason, our media and for some reason, our people think it's good to, like, perpetuate this good, bad, evil repertoire. And our egos do it and our beings do it. And I'm hitting this point, I guess you could say, where, and I've said it a little bit in this already before, of it's like, I don't want that to be the case. And I'm realizing that I want to just live days where I don't do that at all. So I'm going to make an effort, I think, at trying to do that, and be that way more and stuff. Because I keep saying I'm going to come at this with different stuff, and I'm feeling like I'm falling into old patterns where it used to be, okay, like, oh my God, what's wrong? How do you fix it? What all's going on, And the truth of the matter is, I think nothing is, except when we think it is. And then as soon as we think it is, everything's wrong. Everything can be wrong. And it's like, if we get out of that thinking, if we start looking at everything as being a possibility and as being a thing that we can do what we want with, and is, not a good, bad, any particular way, just something we're experiencing, it takes a lot of the stress off, and it takes a lot of the going on off. I feel like Cabal's messing with me. I feel like reptilians are messing with me, or who knows what, and draining my energy via this or draining my energy via that. And it's I don't like that feeling, and I don't like thinking of them, and I don't want to give them existence anymore, because I don't know what it is and what does or doesn't do those things, and honestly don't care, because so many things arguably could be doing it. So this is me saying I'm done with that line of thinking. This is me saying I'm done believing in that kind of stuff. And this is me saying, here's what all is here. Because there's a lot here we just don't get. Straight up, I'm going to go with reality today. I'm just going to say, yeah, if you're still here with your intro, thank you. And yeah, I'm going to go with reality today as a breaker, I think. And say that straight up, reality, what do we define reality as, is arguably not what reality is. Because it's not. Straight up, reality is a philosophical concept, right? We invented it as human beings to define what's going on around us. We said, hey, this is what reality is, and went with it, right? We're like, okay, this is what I'm touching, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm seeing, this is what I'm hearing, therefore it must be real, it must be what's going on, right? It's not. That's just what we defined it as. Straight up, at this moment in time, and the screen you're looking at, there is an infinite quantity paradox of things potentially going on. Every single pixel you're seeing could be a world. Every single pixel you're seeing could be a universe. Every single pixel you could be seeing could be a Cheshire cat running around a tree with Alice in Wonderland. Every single pixel you see could be a storybook, could be a fountain, could be a pond, could be a tree, could be anything you imagine, literally. And things you can't imagine because you just don't know how to imagine it. Like, straight up, take three concepts, throw them together, a horse, a cat, and a bat, put them together, not as a cryptid, as some kind of phenomenological experiential sense. That's what it could be. And that's how powerful this is, and what we are, and what this is. Like, there's no way to get rid of that. We think there is. We think, hey, this is going on in my life. I'm all this or this or this because I'm experiencing this, right? As soon as you're able to shift your vantage state and say, that might be true, but it could also be something else, and you actively choose to, it shifts, like massive shifts, into whatever that new thing is. And you have a new perceptual reality, which is arguably a physical phenomenological reality. And people don't think it is. People just think it's perceptual, but it's not. Like, the longer you believe in a perception, the more it becomes a phenomenological, because we're anchoring it in, we're believing in it concretely, we're conditioning our eyes, our cones in our eyes, visually to see and believe it to be those things, and our mind to think about and have it be those things and feel about those things in what ways and which ways, and like, we make it. Literally, we make it. It's hard to say, okay, what I'm seeing is not true. It's not the reality because we're sensing it, right? But straight up, it's arguably not. And arguably, or at least arguably cannot be if we don't want it to be. We choose for it to be. So in a way, we argue our limitations whenever we say, this is what's real. Because guess what? That's what's real for us then, right? We're seeing this, we're believing in this, we're not open to seeing and believing in other things. And therefore, we're not. We're not, we're not open up to that possibility or whatever, and stuff like that. And it's wild, man. It's wild. Case in point, here's a crazy experience I had Monday. One of the reasons I didn't post. Straight up, I played a chess tournament and was around my floor in USCF, and I boosted 200 points. And the reason why was because straight up I was so fed up and so done in a way that I was like, you know what? I'm just going to play. I'm going to blast some Crash Diet in my room, and I'm just going to play chess, right? 5.5 out of 70, tied for second place. Beat 2 national masters, beat an expert, beat a number of other people who had higher than 2,000 ratings on chess.com, and all I'm doing is sitting there playing Crash Diet, fed up, and just booking it, man. Just speed demoning through it and unlocking my other level of consciousness I've got from my experience. And it's because I was unattached. And when you attach to something being a certain way or wanting it to be a certain way, then yeah, it's not going to happen. And it's why I'm kind of saying with this whole thing I'm doing right now, it's like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing, but I want to make YouTube. I've been told, yeah, make YouTube. And I don't care, really. I'm just going to tell you guys what I know because straight up, this is who I am. This is what I am. This is what I do. And I basically, when I stop caring, things happen. And I want to see what happens because straight up, I'm at the point where I don't care. And it's a beautiful thing because for so much of my life, for so long, I have been, how do I fix this? How do I make this right? How do I make every single thing work and give everything the potential for all and the this and the that and the whatever? And it's exhausting because straight up, I can't. It's like I try to give things this and then I can't actually adapt to it. And really I've come to realize only I can make myself happy at all, maybe, and can't help anybody else really other than in a temporary state. And it is what it is. It is what it is, And when I let go and it just gets solved and I'm not looking for answers and there's an answer, or whatever to how to do stuff. And it's wild how that works because it really is. It's saying, okay, I am being, I don't care because I don't need to care. I don't have to care because I'm already being everything that I want to be and need to be, And it's very weird and different way to live maybe, but it's freeing because you don't have that belief in injustice and tragedy running around saying the world's exploding, and there's bad. And it's really not. I mean, we look at the world, we look at politics, we look at how bad everything seems to be, edge of World War III, edge of climate change, edge of, society collapse by 2030, 2040, and we can choose to believe that. And hell, I do a lot. But we can also say, that's the observable. Might be true, might not be true. What happens if we don't believe that's true? I mean, we have that choice, right? And I mean, yeah, arguably, I'm arguably saying, be a fool, don't believe in this stuff. But what happens when we don't? When we say, I'm going to take a day and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to believe in chaos, basically, and manifest chaos into my life. I mean, if we have the ability, and this is hypothetical, but I mean, if we actually have the ability to, in any given moment, be present, be real, choose who we want to be, choose how we want to be, and choose what world's around us, what can we do? I mean, straight up, what can we do? And there's arguably why they don't want us to believe it and want us to believe we're in a shared world and only one world. I mean, that's arguably what Scientology argues. It's arguably what it's about. It's arguably what, well, okay, not Scientology, but like scientism, I don't know what Scientology argues for, but scientism in terms of, one observable, rational world, how all does it function? It's arguably what philosophy in some forms wants to do and tries to construct in us. That's coming from a philosophy guy that had a philosophy major and it has a BA in it, and it's social construction, to not create chaos, not have chaos in a way, and it's like it's to do that, but it's arguably also to control, to make us have this. I don't know, but maybe it isn't. I don't know. I mean, I'm shooting at ideas here. But I think that really, at the end of the day, it's very good to basically become highly, I don't want to say deviant, but in a way say, why not? Question, say, okay, I believe this thing, but why do I believe this thing? Should I believe this thing? And say, that might not be healthy for me, and therefore I don't have to believe it, and recognize that we have that freedom, we have that right, really, as beings, to believe what we want to believe and not believe. And honestly, if you think that that's hypocrisy, that's okay. But I mean, straight up, it's arguably hypocrisy the other way, because we always arguably are hypocrites. I mean, we believe XYZ to be true, right? Why do we believe that to be true versus something else that's arguably equally true? And when we have infinite worlds potentially going on, that's arguably always the case, right? In terms of both our perspective worlds of how something is and isn't and stuff, and our observable worlds, our exterior phenomenological ones. At which point, who's right? Is there a right? And I mean, I guess that's what I'm arguing for, and that's what I'm trying to say in this video. I'm not pro or con anybody's agenda. I'm just saying, why believe there's an agenda? And why feed into that? Why feed into that? Why fear it? Because then you give power to it, whatever that may be. I mean, it may be Martians, it may be cons, it may be freaking, I don't know what your scared thing is. I don't know. I mean, there's tons of things to be scared of. White supremacy, I don't know. Black Lives Matters, I don't know. I mean, you could be scared of anything, and I'm not saying it's wrong or right to be scared of anything. What I'm saying is, why be scared when you can enjoy? When you can be free, when you can be alive, when you can choose how you want to be and choose what you want to believe, why not give yourself that power? And I mean, I think I'm trying to argue this for myself just as much as you guys right now, because it's like I'm sitting here trying to figure out what I'm doing for employment. I'm sitting here trying to figure out what am I doing with my life, and straight up, it's not about purpose anymore. It's about what I want to enjoy, what I want to experience. Because I think at the end of the day, it's going to loop, it's going to cycle, it's going to be everything, and there's nothing we can do about it. And I used to think that was a scary thing. I used to think we had to break out of that. And now I honestly don't. I honestly think that that's a very beautiful thing. It's horrible because it means we're everything. But at the same time, too, it's so dang beautiful because it means we're everything. And it's just a question of what do we want to experience and why do we want to experience it? So, I don't know. But I think that's what I'm beginning to come to with this and stuff. Is how do we embrace that? How do we be that? And in what ways? And embracing it and getting out of the loop of talking about it but not actually doing it. Like, it's living in the moment, it's following the intuition, it's saying, I don't care, and I'm going to do what makes me feel good, because straight up, that's arguably a good thing to do, and if it's lastingly good, then it's good for other people too, and other beings around us. So, I don't know, that's what I argue for. I think that's what I argue for, maybe. But if you want to feel miserable, do that too. Each to their own. Live and let live. Live and let live. That's my philosophy, really, with it. I don't care what anything's doing as long as it's not affecting me, really. And if it is, then I'll be like, okay, do I like how it is? And if I don't, then I'll be like, okay, So I don't know, but that's kind of where I'm at. So yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm not really sure. I was going to try and show ideas. This is kind of me just rambling, honestly. I'm just going to label this ramblings, and we'll go from there, maybe. And try to maybe do a second video that's better quality than this one. Because, yeah, this is just me just piecing together what I'm actually thinking and doing and planning to do. Shouldn't be a whole video, really, but it's me thinking. You're going to see my thought process. I mean, but yeah, no, I think it's about that. I mean, I think that's really the truth. I mean, here, I'll take reality again as a concept. I mean, if you're not believing me yet, I mean, you got quantity paradoxes, right? In terms of stuff. The reason why is because of space time. So straight up, Zeno, when he was around 3,000 years ago, there's a thing called the arrow paradox, and basically, he had an arrow, or somebody had an arrow, and he basically said how many pieces. Somebody said how many pieces is that arrow to him, and he basically argued that straight up it could be any number of pieces. And the reason why is because you have an arrow, right? But you also have the head of the arrow and the base of the arrow, as well as every single tiny little piece of the arrow. And you can cut it into how many pieces is it, and then you still have an arrow, but you have all those different pieces as well. And that's basically what our world is. It's an arrow. It's all these pieces, and how many pieces there are, how many pieces it can be broken into is arguably infinity. The thing is, infinity is not a real number, because how do you ever have infinity? You always have a number, right? Which is a paradox. And because that paradox is there, that quantity is there, in that way, it means that there can never be an actual finite number, arguably, in terms of how much there ever is in this world and in this reality. Because straight up, how do you have it? How do you have it? You've got arguably various numbers of arrows at any given moment. It's a Schrodinger cat. It's a quantum box. It's a slits theory experiment. You observe it, it becomes that, but only when you observe it. And that's the point. If that's the truth, how many different kind of pieces of arrow could you have? And what all could they be? And where all could they be? And arguably time is that arrow. So you take space that way, you take time that way. What do you have? You have timelessness, arguably, right? You have this state that is free and timeless, and I don't know what, but it's free, maybe, or maybe not, depending on what you want. So I don't know, man. There's a lot of things that could be going on, a lot of things that are in some places, aren't in other places too, and arguably we could make a lot of things happen. The question is, what do we want to have happen and why? So I don't know, but I'm at the point, I think personally, where I don't want to believe whatever people believe. I don't want to believe in this great awakening. I don't want to believe in this fear cabal. I don't want to believe in aliens. I don't want to believe in cryptids. I don't want to believe in human beings, even arguably. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, it's just I don't want to hold what this is as anything. I want to experience it freely. I want to have it be what I want it to be any moment. And I think that's okay to do. And some people are going to call that insanity, but it's not. It's really just choosing how you want to experience your world. And people have that freedom and that right and the ability to choose that. Arguably don't hurt other people because it's a bad thing to do. But, why not experience what you want to experience in here? I mean, why not give yourself that freedom in terms of your definitions and in terms of who and what you want to be and what you want the world to be, especially in this time and era. I mean, and that's the truth, is with all this chaos going on around us, you got to believe something. You got to believe in something and arguably make it be that way for you. And what this really is going on, what all is going on, it's a really good question. I try to piece it together. I try to figure it out. But, I mean, it's so hard to with so many different variables and so many different worlds arguably at play if quantum is real and true and what's going on. And because of that, I mean, it makes it really difficult to plan and make any kind of thing other than living in the moment and the present. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, it feels like it, but it doesn't have to be. And I mean, I think to that end, I believe very much in living for the present and making it not about survival, and making it about how you want this place to be. The question is, how do you want reality to be? What do you want reality to be? Why? And basically trying to map your life and put your life into alignment with that. And it's easier said than done sometimes to do. especially if you've got it reliant on exterior things and wanting exterior things. But the more you make it internally based and give yourself that fulfillment, I mean, I think we can gain and give ourselves a lot of power that way and have a lot of freedom. So, I don't know. That's my crazy rant. And yeah, I don't know. Peace, much love, and light to everybody and everything. And I'm not against or pro or con anything. And they're saying, what to think or what to do. Because, yeah, I'm not. I'm not. But yeah, be good to yourself. Take it easy. And I'll be back with more stuff soon. Peace, much love, and namaste.